my dear music lovers, and welcome to this new episode of your music program, Mon Orgasme Auditif. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome today a Cameroonian rap artist from Kumba. We are going to talk about his last project, an album with 12 tracks called Vibes Clinic. So, welcome to the one who calls himself Mike Monsta.
Hey, dos, tas.
Yo,
Hi.
King Gon's kill this boy.
Hello, Mike.
Hi.
It's a pleasure for me to welcome you in this new episode
Thank
of
you.
Mon Orgasme Auditif.
It's nice to be here.
Thank you very much. So today we are going to talk about your first project, an album
Yeah.
called Vibes
Vibes
Clinic.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me, why did you choose to call it like that, first of all?
First of all, is because the whole project is a journey to self-discovery, and it all came out like a healing for me. Like I had so much to heal from my past, and making those songs was just an escape for me, and it came with so much healing. That's the reason for the clinic in the album.
Okay, so on the pouch, you were in the white jacket,
Yeah.
stethoscope around your neck, half drowned in the river, giving off a serenity that borders on indifference. What is the symbolism of this image for you?
First thing, when you look at the image, the first thing that comes to your mind is purity. It's healing. Like you see a doctor, it brings a sense of healing around, and water is pure. And it's because, like I said, the album was a new beginning for me, and I had so much to heal from, like pain from childhood, disappointments from friends, like so much noise and voices in my head that I had to let go of to focus on the music. And the whole stethoscope is just for you to listen to the songs with your heart. So it's for you to connect to the album, you just need to listen with your heart, and that's it.
Okay, so with the stethoscope, what or who do you want to treat?
More like treat myself. It's like I had to be a doctor for my soul to heal my heart, kind of. Because if the best way to take care of something that you love is to take care of yourself, and once you're good, you can easily take care of what you're passionate about, who you're passionate about, what you're up to. So me taking care of myself first, making sure I'm in that perfect state of mind to make music freely, is just the healing energy for myself. And the listeners also, people listening to the project can say they find that same healing energy around it. Because songs like Johnny, after it came out, so many people had so many things to say. It's like I wrote the song for them, and it was just me in my head making the music for me, and so many people could connect to the whole energy around it. So the healing in the whole project starts with me, and to the listeners, and everybody that is listening with your heart, they can connect to it.
Talking about the listeners, does this image of your cover reflect your desire to save a culture that tends to draw?
Yeah, like I said, if you take care of yourself, you can take care of anything around you. And taking care of myself, making sure my art is good, it saves the Cameroonian culture in a way, because it makes me a unique artist among so many others. And I kind of stand out. So that brings the whole taking care of yourself first can benefit so many things around you, because once you make good arts, the nation is proud, the country is proud, and you can export quality content
To the others.
Yeah.
Okay, when you first released your album, you sold it at 10,000.
Yeah.
Why? And why did you change after?
So because there was so much hype around the project, so many people wanted it ahead of time, and we decided that since people cannot wait for the official release, the exclusive was going to be for 10,000 francs. And it had so much controversy because so many people were waiting for the album, but we had a good amount of sales. Like even myself, I was surprised because people were affording. Even some were complaining that 10,000 was too much. Some were still buying. I later changed because officially the price for the project was 2,000 francs. So after the release date, it dropped to 2,000 francs.
In the album, you did some samples, especially on Local Loquito, where you cover a classic from the Black style. Do you have the feeling that the new generation does not take advantage or value enough the heritage of the 17th, 18th, or 19th as an opportunity of creation?
Yeah, actually, I will speak for an artist that grew up in the southwest side of Cameroon. I feel like we kind of disconnect to the culture a lot due to the influence of the Nigerians on us. Like as a kid, growing up, it was easy to feel like Aki and Popo is your childhood friends. I'm talking about the Nigerian actors because there was so much Nigerian movies in our living rooms, in our churches, even our gospel, to the point that even in our streets, Ben Sikin changed to Okada, like Muna Bobo changed to Ajebo, and we started losing track of that. And that's why most of my songs is dominated by the Cameroonian pidgin, because it's like a means to just reserve the culture, because we started losing track of that so much. And even the connecting to Black Steels, Monsta, when I moved to Douala, I had to just go back to the songs that were making waves before the generation that we are in. And that's one of the songs that stood out for me. And we had to sample it to recover that Makossa, Jean, and everything. So the cultural influence, I would say our youths are neglecting it due to the foreign culture present in our community, but gradually we can fight it off.
Why this song particularly, and how was the collaboration with Coach Francois?
Okay, the song particularly because growing up, CRTV used to play one Coach Francois a lot with a child running and dancing with his broom. Like he runs and dances and people come out and join him. So like he was that small boy where he moved people. Like that image of that video was in my mind for so long. And making that song, growing up I wanted to be that boy in that video. So connecting to Kuti Francois' song, I just used that energy of that, the younger me that used to admire his work. And that was the song and the particular aspect of it that stood out. And that gave me the title of the genre. And we working with him, I have a guy on my team, Baba Samba. We call him the plug. Baba Samba can fetch any contact that you need. And it was through him that we got to Coach Francois. And he invited us to his office when they told him about the project. And he was just like, whenever you're ready for the video, just come over. And he came and that was it.
Okay, talking about those artists and other artists, you have a good dose of collaboration with only Cameroonians in this album. Is this a voluntary speech in the current debate on the preference of Cameroonian artists over foreigners?
No, not necessarily. It was the project was more about people that I can connect with. Like me, I represent a movement, Kwata Peking. And when I came to Douala, there's a hip-hop legend here in Douala, Speedo. They call him Don Kwata, true legend. So me connecting to him for a collaboration was more of like respecting somebody that is doing what I'm doing over there. So there was no way I could be in Douala, make an album without Speedo on it. So there were so many things that I was considering while making the album. And for Salatier, there's putting him on the remix for Johnny was because he has like an image of a hero when it comes to the music industry. And Johnny, I needed somebody that would reflect the personality and everything. So that was a strategy for getting him on the project. So I just had certain things that I looked at while I was making the album.
Okay, beyond Salatiel, Speedo, Mr. Leo, Dready Chris, or Oji, who are more famous, can you tell us about the others?
Yeah, there's Kate Z. She sings in Sawa, the Douala language. Like her voice is magical. She's on Johnny, and she's also on Denono. She's a recording artist. She used to do backup for Petit Pays back in the days, and DJ Khaled normally use her for backups in the studio. And but just put your voice on this song. Let's see how it comes out. She hasn't made any official release yet. So she's still a studio artist recording on her works. And there's a guy I have on Love Language. He's a kid, he's like 14-year-old. I went to one studio in Boya and I was making that song. I didn't even have a hook for it. and he was just sitting by the studio and listening, and he was like, "Gone for something the big mic." And he checked something. I'm like, "Can you do it on the mic?" He said yes, and he just gave me that hook. The way he blend, I just said I will release a song cause of him. And who else is on it? I think those are the only two artists that are not really out there because they have not made any official release. It was just that connection that we had at the studio.
Okay. We know that in Cameroon, rap is very controversial.
Yeah.
So does a rapper still need street credibility in 2021 to exist? In a context where rap has almost become a popular variety which can only be listened to in the street?
Kind of. For someone that lives in the street, for them to pay attention to you, you need to talk about their reality, kind of. So I would say every rapper kind of need that street credibility, not the violent side of the street, but the immediate reality of the people. Like I will not be getting up to my daily lifestyle and you're preaching Bugatti. Like I will disconnect or try to hit on your message. So once I realize like there's something your message I can connect to, it gives that street attachment to every rapper, and that's what gives the whole street cred. When your lyrics and images can reflect the direct reality of where you come from.
Okay, beyond all the atrocities that have been happening in the Northwest and Southwest since 2016, what did you personally feel in 2020 when armed men broke into a school and opened fire on children in Kumba, the city where you were born and raised?
No, that one was a sad one. It was cold. Like I remember the whole of that day, I didn't even have a smile on my face. I went live on Facebook and I had so much to say, because it was just something that nobody have answers to. Like you don't know who to blame, and it's been happening, and you know that it's something that can be avoided. And it leaves kids with young mind asking questions like, is there God? Like when you're so young and you start questioning if there is God, it's so unfair to your youthfulness. And that particular action it threw me off. Like I cannot like even talking about it now, it's still there. And that one was painful because it was kids. It was the first time in the whole struggle that we had kids involved in the whole thing. It used to be, yeah, I'm black leg, I'm military, like to bring it to the point of kids. And in the classroom, like you go for education and get killed. That one is different.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
So do you think that music help you to heal, or music can help all those persons to heal from all these atrocities? Yeah,
music is basically one of the fuels that keeps the world going. If you keep the world in 1 week without music, man. So I feel like music is a very necessary something. Like Fela said, music is powerful, don't play with it.
Your thought taken at random in Random Thoughts show in the clip a life of a hustler, where you have to fight, sometimes in blood, to succeed.
Yeah. Okay, so like one of the things I've learned is that in life, your biggest battle will be against yourself. In the random thoughts, the video reflects me shooting at myself. Like I had to kill the old me to be the present me, like to be my best version. I had to take off the marks that society has put on you. Because there are so many things that society places on you that you start to feel like it's you. Like your failures, your grades in school might make you feel you're not good in biology. Meanwhile, maybe it's a mood that you got into class that day. So that, and you all of a sudden you grow a certain hate for biology, thinking I'm not good at that because one teacher just gave you 2 on 10. You get, like, there are so many things that society put on you that you have to let go of. And that was me killing the old version of me to be my best version. So the whole fast struggle in the video is just with myself. Like my biggest battle has been against myself.
We are in a medical crisis. So tell me, how does coronavirus influence your career?
I said the whole coronavirus, there's a good side and there's a bad side of it. Okay, so the bad side of it was the fact that there were no shows. Like when I released Johnny, it was popping and people could not organize events at that point in time because of the whole virus. And the whole quarantine period was when I was working on my album, because I was like, if people cannot go out for shows, but the streaming numbers will go up now that people are at home. So if you can put out a body of work, people will be home and streaming music instead of attending shows. And that kind of pushed me to the whole positive side of making the Vibes Clinic album. So at one point I was mad at the whole thing, but somehow it worked in my advantage where it pushed me to create content.
Okay, great. So tell me, what title of your musical repertoire can you consider as Mon Orgasme Auditif? And can you sing it for us, please?
Which one?
Just choose one that you
For my
particularly
songs?
like, yes, from the album.
I would say Johnny.
Okay.
Johnny gotta make dough. Johnny no nang, Johnny family they ready wait you. If Bolo no pay, tell Papa say Johnny na hero. Johnny be strong, Johnny be bold, Johnny be fight for people. We start am for Kumba, enter for Boya, Udena na do. Wetin man go do? If the bullet no dey, wetin soldier go do? For years so before you chop, you get for work. All a day Udena bolo, man the dream, still the picture, all kind of images, even when things they know the show. Si tu dors, ta vie d'ombre. Va d'ailleurs, cherche ton gombo. Et j'étais le nouveau gars. Chumeno dans le micro. On les drip for my skin. Kwata pikin, ya story this will in a film. We don't reach for that part of the story where all man degree. Born great and it's evident. Pin a flag, I'm a resident. Tell the world Johnny just come. And he reach lesson wise man. Tell a piro say the bole. But stay now, they no mean by we. A corner of a day for Sikawi. But if Johnny want talk, they go bole. Yeah.
Thank you, Mike, for this brilliant interpretation.
You're welcome.
So, my dear music lover, we come to the end of this episode. Don't hesitate to go listen to this brilliant album. Also, don't forget to go subscribe to the YouTube channel of Mon Orgasme Auditif and to activate the YouTube notification bell to not miss anything. See you next Saturday. Bye!